Hey guys, Cameron Turner here reporting from Salt Lake City after the Oilers fall 2-0 to the Utah Grizzlies. Tough outing for Tulsa. They kind of fell behind by a goal early in the first period, really had trouble getting their legs under them. Picked up after that, but it was too little too late. They gave the talented Grizzlies defense a lead to play with, and they were never able to get back into it. Oilers did create several chances in the second and even more in the third, but couldn't find the net on any of them. Ends up being a 2-0 loss. So the Oilers are now 0-1-1 on this trip to Utah after falling 3-2 in a shootout in the first game. So 2-0 Grizzlies is the final. Now let's check out the highlights. The Grizzlies got on the board first, 3 minutes into the first period. A quick spin move by Kadimi caught the Oilers flat-footed. Backdoor pass found Broussard open in the slot, and he was able to finish before Hildebrand could get post-to-post. Pretty open shot. The Oilers, the defensive lapse there. One of the few they had in the game, but Utah took advantage of it as they would in the third period as well. So Oilers fall behind 1-0 just 3 minutes into the game, giving the homestanding Grizzlies a chance to play with the lead, which is their forte. The only other game came to 62 seconds into the third period. Once again, it was Broussard finding an open spot in the zone, getting a one-timer, or not a one-timer, but a drop pass, and then blasting a quick shot. Took about a second to pick his target, found it with ease, blasted it straight over the leg of Hildebrand and just inside the far post. Brewer got caught a little bit deep here on the entry, ended up leaving a wide open area there right in the middle of the slot. So just the second defensive lapse of the game, but once again, Broussard was in the right spot to take advantage of it, and his blast made it 2-0 Utah with 19 minutes to play. The Oilers created several good chances late, but couldn't quite find the tying or any goals, let alone the tying goal. Bleakley, the Oilers' leading scorer, had this great chance here with just about 4 minutes left. Pass from Watling behind the net found him wide open in the slot, but he couldn't beat Farragher. Ryan Farragher in net for Utah had an excellent game. His positioning was fantastic, and he gave the Oilers nothing to shoot at all game long. Good chance here by Bleakley, but once again, Farragher stepped up. The Oilers' best chance came just 7 seconds later, still on the power play as they were for the previous Bleakley chance. The Utah defense gets caught all on one side, overreacting to a play along the boards, leaving Samper wide open at the far circle with Bleakley in front of the screen. In hindsight, a pass to the front of the net would have been best, but you got to try to get any opportunities you can, and with a screen, a one-timer from the low dot, but Farragher was able to reach out and snag it with the glove, so another golden opportunity there for the Oilers to execute and capitalize, but unable to do so, and Farragher makes a big save to keep Utah ahead 2-0. This came with about 3 minutes left in the third period, so Oilers are getting desperate at this point, throwing everybody forward. The forecheck was all in. Oilers put lots of chances on, had several great opportunities. Another night they probably score a couple. That's what happened on Friday night. They fell behind 2-0 just like they did tonight, but kept pressuring the Utah defense and were finally able to get two past Farragher. Ended up losing in a shootout, but was able to at least get that 1 point. The final chance of the night came in the closing seconds for Tulsa, so it would have just broken the shutout, but it was a good example of the way Utah played all game long. The defenseman here kind of covered the slot, took away the potential backdoor pass. Gauthier tried to get around it by firing a low shot for a rebound, but Farragher controlled it well, kicked it out to where there was nobody around. Just a good job. Went into the slot, but with the two men coming from the wings there, that was the open position for him to deflect the rebound and keep the chance away. So another golden chance for Tulsa, just unable to get around the excellent defense of Utah. A quick look at your final stats, shows Tulsa outshooting Utah by a 38-35 margin. Most of those shots came in the second and third period as Utah outshot Tulsa by a lofty 17-3 margin in the first period. Oilers took a couple penalties, were playing in their zone the whole time, and were just never able to get anything going offensively. Clearly turned the corner and got more stuff going. They kind of had a talk in the locker room between the first and second period, turned the forecheck up a notch and the offensive intensity up a notch, ended up outshooting the Grizzlies by a 35-18 count after that, but it wasn't enough. The early lead by the Grizzlies was able to be held and then extended as Tulsa drops it by a 2-0 count. A look at your 3 stars of the game. Farragher, number 1, obviously, had an excellent game, a 38-save shutout with 35 saves coming over the last 2 periods and 18 in the third period alone. Broussard stepped up for Utah as the only player on either side to find the back of the net. 2 goals on the night. He also contributed 4 hits. And the number 3 star, Jake Hildebrand, in goal for Tulsa. He played excellent. He really only gave up those 2 goals where his defense left an opening right in the middle of the slot. So an excellent game for Hildebrand, but just outdueled by Farragher on this night. With the loss, the Oilers dropped to 20-16-7 on the year, 47 points. They stay in 3rd place in the Mountain Division. Utah, meanwhile, moves to 25-15-3, and their 53 points still lead the Mountain. Tons of time left in the season. Oilers have been in a playoff position all year, but if they're going to catch the rush on the Grizzlies, they're going to have to be able to find the net a bit more often than they did tonight. The Oilers finish the short road trip with one more in Utah tomorrow night before coming back for a 4-game week featuring a pair against Wichita as well as Rapid City and Allen. So the Oilers really need to try to find a way to get a couple points in this last game of the 3-game set with the first place Grizzlies. So once again, a 2-0 loss for Utah, a 2-0 win for Utah, 2-0 loss for Tulsa. Let's go to the locker room and check in with the Oilers coaching staff.
Tough game tonight. Kind of got off on the wrong foot there in the first period. What was happening there that allowed Utah to control possession so well?
We didn't really come out with the kind of intensity and focus we need early on. We weren't getting the puck deep into the zone. We weren't keeping it when we had possession down there. Weren't getting shots on goal. Trying a little too hard early on to find a backdoor pass. After that, Utah started getting some possession of their own, and we just couldn't get out of our own end. Ended up taking a couple penalties that complicated things. Of course, the early goal gave Utah a lot of confidence, but really I think it was just a matter of coming out a little flat, didn't have the energy we need or the offensive focus and the mentality on the forecheck that was needed. Ended up spending way too much time in our own zone, as you saw. 3 shots is never going to get the job done. It really put us in the wrong position going into the second period there.
Coach, the team really looked a lot better in the second and third periods, came out with an offensive mentality to get the puck on goal. What did you guys talk about in the locker room between the first and second periods?
Well, first off, I told them that effort over the first 20 minutes was unacceptable and that wasn't going to continue happening one way or another. We were going to pick things up, whatever we needed to do. The most important thing was to play on the other end of the ice, to give Hildebrand a break there, facing 17 shots in the first period. They did a good job. They were able to come out. The guys got the puck into the zone. They kept it with some good cycles, some good puck possession, created chances from the point, got a few screens, but Farragher, he's an excellent goalie. Utah plays well defensively. They didn't break down. Everything we got, we had to kind of work for. No golden chances in the second period. Got some great chances late in the third on the power play, but Farragher was just in his zone tonight. Not much you can do against a goalie like that. And as we've said, Utah is an excellent defensive team, and if you give them a lead to play with, it's always going to be difficult.
Coach, it's been a difficult trip for the offense, just 2 goals in 2 games up here in Salt Lake City. What does the team need to do in order to create some more chances and put some in the back of the net in the series finale on Sunday against the Grizzlies?
Well, the most important thing we're going to need to do is control the puck, get chances and get people in the slot, get bodies in front of Farragher. Anything he sees, he's stopping right now. We got to take away his vision, try to get maybe some screens, deflections, rebounds, find an ugly one early, get the confidence going. That's a big thing too. The first 2 games, we've had nothing on offense in the first 2 periods, only scored twice in the third period in the first game of this set with Utah. Absolutely, our offense needs to get going early. If they can get a little confidence going, maybe break the confidence of the Utah defense, that'll be big. Utah's an excellent team, but we really need to get a couple points before we get out of here. 1 through 3 games isn't enough, so the offense is really going to need to pick it up. Defense has been excellent on this trip. They've kept the team in it. Hildebrand's been excellent. They're going to need to continue to do that, but if we're going to get 2 points before we head back to Tulsa, we're going to have to get better play out of the offense, specifically Connor Bleakley. He's the leading scorer on the team. He hasn't really been stepping up. Had a couple chances late in this one, but a little more patience was needed on that first one. The second one, not much he can do about it. Was just stuffed in tight. He did set a good screen on the Samper shot. In hindsight, if they had a little more time to figure that out, Samper probably would have gone down low to Bleakley, who was wide open. But in the moment, sometimes things happen, and I don't mind Samper getting that one-timer off. You got to get a shot on goal, down by 2 in the final 4 minutes on the power play. So, I think the offense is starting to kind of fire, starting to get the right mentality, but they're going to have to start earlier and get things going on Sunday. But once again, your final score here from Salt Lake City, 2-0 in favor of the Grizzlies. Tulsa gets another shot at it before coming back Sunday afternoon, 4 o'clock face-off. You can catch it right here once again. So I hope to see you back here after the Oilers and the Grizzlies matinee on Sunday.